Good morning, all. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your morning flash update for Wednesday, the 17th of April, 2019, just after 9:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time. We'll get into the day's data, but I want to remind you, it's probably a good time to switch over into the June energies away from the May. Same thing in the coffee, cocoa, sugar. Go to the Julys now into those. And in the grain market, it's a good time to get out of the May contracts and move into the July contracts, if not further out. So those are the things you're going to see on the boards that I'm doing. You saw the good news yesterday out of Qualcomm, and that is still kicking up the NASDAQ, but the other stock indices have all sort of stalled. They're not moving with that news. Very quiet session in foreign currency trading, really not going one way or the other as I'm looking at it. So it's an interesting day, and it's the last full day before a lot of people start taking off for the Easter Passover holiday tomorrow. The markets are not open on Friday. Some markets will see abbreviated sessions even tomorrow. As for the day's data, we're not building inventories. February wholesale inventories up 0.2. They expected up 0.5, and the prior was up 1.2. So this rate of the growth of our inventory isn't big. Wholesale sales were up 3%, 0.3. Prior was up 0.5, and we've got 1.35 months of inventory on hand. In the trade deficit, going the right way, it's a 49.4 billion. They expected 53.7. The prior month was revised to 51.1 from 51.15. So you got your reduction right here. February exports for 2019, 209.69 billion. That is, and the exports up 1.1%. The prior was up 0.9, and the imports, well, they were sitting here up 0.2 at 259.07. Prior was down actually 2.6%. So if we look at mortgages, rates have been going up from that 2.45 level, 2.46 to near 2.6 now, and you could see that the numbers, the market index is down 3.5%. The prior week, the purchase index up just about a percentage point, and the refi down 8.2. So as soon as those rates go the other way, you start seeing the declines. Then we're looking at Chinese data, and this is what is helping some of the markets today. Their economic growth held to 6.4%. I've been reading they were looking ideally at 6.5, but that's still good for the first 3 months of the year. Industrial production surged 8.5% from a year earlier, while retail sales grew 8.7%. Now remember, the banks had been doing back in December a lot of stimulus in order to get the economy chugging along. This is not stellar growth. Most people would love it, but for China it's not. And for those of you that got last night my research, I showed the graphs as to how they've gone from 13, 14, 15% down to these numbers, and I think the story was told there. In Japan for the month of March, their trade surplus fell 33%. As exports slumped 2.4% from a year ago due to liquid crystal and other things they were doing with China and higher imports of planes, clothes, and liquefied natural gas. Their trade surplus with the U.S., and let me just step back here and not step over myself, it was down 6.7% from a year ago. It'll bring a smile to President Trump's face because that's what he wants. He doesn't want to see that these surpluses just keep growing one way or the other. We're going to discuss this and a lot more today. We're already doing it on all these different markets in the different writings that we put out. Now, throughout the day, we not only write, but if you have our QT platform, you're hearing the oral commentaries come out, and if you're not around to hear them, they're still recorded. You go back in, you can hear David Hightower, the Hightower Report. You hear a number of our people. There's markets, every one of them, that we're touching on, and the idea is to keep you informed. So not only look at our research, but when you're on our website at www.iraepstein.com, why not sign up for a free trial of some of our chart platforms if you haven't done it before? I think you'll find a big difference between what we do and others. Ours is about research and information as much as charts and quotes, but real emphasis on research you're not getting elsewhere. You can click up here to get there if you're watching me on YouTube, or just go to the website. You'll see the carousel of free offers. I'm Ira Epstein.